Hello and welcome to Raju Notes channel, your pit stop for weekly current affairs updates. The updates tailor-made for students taking all kinds of competitive exams like UPSC, civils, defense and placement interviews. Please subscribe to the channel and stay updated every Sunday.
The 8th edition of India-Kazakhstan Joint Military Exercise Kazand 2024 commenced in Uttarakhand. The Indian Armed Forces, comprising 120 personnel, are represented by a battalion of Kumaon Regiment of Indian Army. According to the Defence Ministry, the joint exercise aims to enhance the joint military capabilities of both sides to undertake counter-terrorism operations. The exercise will focus on operations in semi-urban and mountainous terrain. The ministry added that it will enable both sides to share best practices in tactics, techniques and procedures for conducting of joint operations. It will also enhance defense cooperation and facilitate the development of interoperability, bonhomie and camaraderie between both the armies. The Health Ministry has issued draft guidelines outlining conditions for withdrawal of life support in terminally ill patients. Severe brain injuries with no recovery after 72 hours are included in this category. Doctors are advised to make a considered decision about it based on several factors, including the patient being declared brain stem dead, a poor prognosis with no likely benefit from treatment, or a document-informed refusal from the patient or their family. In draft guidelines, which have been released for public comments, the ministry emphasized that many patients in intensive care units (ICUs) are terminally ill and not expected to gain from life-sustaining treatments. The ministry added that in such circumstances, life-sustaining treatments are non-beneficial and increase avoidable burdens and sufferings to the patients and therefore are considered excessive and inappropriate. It added that this approach is considered standard ICU care worldwide and is upheld by several jurisdictions. The ministry added that such decisions have medical, ethical, and legal considerations. The Indian Army signed the 8th procurement contract through the government's flagship initiative Innovations for Defence Excellence (IDEX) in New Delhi. The Ministry of Defence said that the contract for procurement of generation of quantum secure key, that is quantum key distribution, was signed with QNew Labs. This contract will replace the algorithm-based encryption system, thus enabling greater security and also optimizing manpower commitment. At present, there are a total of 74 projects of the Indian Army under IDEX, including as part of acing development of innovative technology with IDEX, called as ADITI, ADITI. Defence India Startup Challenge, DISC, DISC, and Open Challenge schemes, which involve hand-holding of 77 startups for the development of the latest state-of-the-art solutions for the Indian Army. IDEX aimed to create an ecosystem to foster innovations and encourage technology development in defense and aerospace by engaging research and development institutes, academia, and industries, including MSMEs, startups, and individual innovators. Sri Lanka's inflation rate fell to minus 0.5% in September 2024, down from 0.5% in August, making the first deflation in the nearly 4 decades. According to the data released by Sri Lanka Department of Census and Statistics, food items also witnessed a deflation as the basket recorded minus 0.3%. The island nation is in the midst of an economic crisis which was at peak in 2022, with inflation going as high as 70%. Tight monetary policy and other government measures such as import bans on non-essential commodities helped bring down inflation. The governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Nandlal Veerasinghe, has maintained that the target for inflation is between 3 and 5%. The last time Sri Lanka experienced deflation was in October 1985, when inflation hit minus 2.1%. Deflation is when prices decrease over time. It stands to contrast to inflation, which refers to when prices rise. In the current circumstances, the island's economy is seeing deflationary trend following high inflation in the backdrop of debt. In traditional economies, such rapid deflation can be associated with a short term contraction of economic activities, which is not a positive development for Sri Lanka. KOCO Federation of India (KKFI) and the International KOCO Federation have announced that the inaugural KOCO World Cup will take place in India in 2025. The event will witness the participation of 24 countries from 6 continents and will feature 16 men and as many as women's team. Ahead of the World Cup, the KKFI plans to take the sport to 200 schools across 10 cities to promote the sport. The federation will also run a membership drive for the school students with the aim of registering at least 50 lakh players ahead of the mega tournament. The tournament will feature a week-long series of matches with top-tier athletics from across the globe. The KOCO World Cup aims to elevate the indigenous Indian sport to an international stage. KOCO has its roots in India, and World Cup will highlight the rich cultural heritage and competitive spirit of the sport. The sport has started in the mud and now gone to the mat, has a global presence with about 54 countries playing the sport across the world. The government has notified the reconstruction of the Monetary Policy Committee. The Governor of RBI is an ex officio chairperson of the committee. The Deputy Governor of RBI in charge of monetary policy and one officer of the RBI to be nominated by Central Board are also the ex officio members of this committee. Director of Delhi School and Economics, Professor Ram Singh, economist Sugata Bhattacharya, and Director and Chief Executive of Institute of Studies in Industrial Development, Dr. Nagesh Kumar, have been appointed as the member of the committee. The committee shall hold office for 4 years with immediate effect or until further orders. The 17th edition of India-Germany Military Cooperation Subgroup (MCSG) meeting was held in Berlin on 2nd. Discussions were focused on new initiatives to further enhance the scope of bilateral military cooperation and to strengthen ongoing defense engagements across the spectrum. The Ministry of Defense in a statement said that MCSG is a forum established to boost defense cooperation between both nations through regular talks at the strategic and operational levels between headquarters, Integrated Defense Staff, and Department of International Cooperation Armed Forces, Germany. In Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum was sworn as the country's first female president. She replaced her popular predecessor Andrés Manuel López Obrador as head of state in the world's most populous Spanish-speaking nation. The 62-year-old scientist-turned-politician took the oath on the floor of Congress for a 6-year term lasting until 2030. In her inauguration speech, Sheinbaum said that she came to power accompanied by all of the women who have struggled in anonymity to make their way in Mexico. She also pledged that the Mexican oil giant will look to maintain daily oil production at 1.8 million barrels in line with the current output. ISRO to launch Venus Orbiter mission Shukrayaan-1 in March 2028. The Indian Space Research Organization ISRO will launch its first Venus Orbiter mission VOM Shukrayaan-1 on March 29th of 2028. Using the LVM-3 rocket, the spacecraft will take 112 days to reach Venus. VOM aims to study Venus' atmosphere, surface, and geological features, including the planet's atmospheric composition, surface characteristics, and potential volcanic or seismic activity. Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has approved to confer the status of classical language to Marathi, Pali, Prakrit, Assamese, and Bengali language. The classical languages serve as custodian of India's ancient cultural heritage, embodying the essence of each community's historical and cultural milestone. The government has decided to create a new category of languages as classical languages on October 12th of 2004, declaring Tamil as a classical language. Among the criteria for the status of classical languages are the high antiquity of its early text, recorded history of over 1,000 years, and a body of ancient literature. The literary tradition of the language must be original and not borrowed from another speech community. The inclusion of language as classical language will create significant employment opportunities, particularly in academic and research fields. The preservation, documentation, and digitization of ancient texts in these languages will generate jobs in archiving, translation, publishing, and digital media. The government has also approved the National Mission on Edible Oil and Oilseeds NMEO oilseeds for 2024-25 to 2030-31 with an outlay of 10,103 crore rupees. This has been done with an aim to make India self-reliant in oilseed production in the next 7 years. Briefing media in New Delhi, Information and Broadcasting Minister Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav said that the newly appointed NMEO oilseeds will focus on enhancing the production of key primary oilseed crops such as rapeseed mustard, groundnut, soybean, sunflower, and sesame. He added that it will also focus on increasing collection and extraction efficiency from secondary sources like cottonseed, rice bran, tree butter oils, etc. Mr. Vaishnav said that the mission aims to increase primary oilseed production from 39 million metric tons in 2022-23 to 69.7 million metric tons by 2031. The mission aims to significantly enhance domestic oilseed production, advancing the goal of self-reliance in edible oils, thereby reducing import dependency and conserving valuable foreign exchange while boosting farmers' incomes. Union Cabinet has approved the Pradhanmantri Rashtriya Krishi Yojana PMRKVY to promote sustainable agriculture and the Krishi Unnati Yojana KY to achieve food security for agricultural self-sufficiency. The PMRKVY and Krishi Unnati Yojana will be implemented with a total proposed expenditure of over 1 lakh crore rupees. This includes over 57,000 crore rupees for PMRKVY and 44,246 crores for Krishi Unnati Yojana. The rationalization of various schemes has been undertaken to avoid duplication, ensure convergence, and provide flexibility to states and the state governments. The state governments will also be able to draw a comprehensive strategic plan suiting their requirements for the agricultural sector. The Pradhanmantri Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana comprises of the schemes including soil health management, rain-fed area development, agroforestry, Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, and per drop more crop. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar will travel to Islamabad to attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO Summit on 15th of October and 16th of October. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Randir Jaiswal confirmed this during a media briefing in Delhi yesterday. On Zakir Naik's visit to Pakistan, Mr. Jaiswal said, India is not surprised that a fugitive from Indian justice has received a highest level welcome in Pakistan. He termed it as disappointing and condemnable.
Well, that's all, friends, for this week's updates. See you soon next Sunday on the same channel. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.